In a world filled with crime, the government assembled the Bureau, a complete collection of the nation's detectives. Their objective? To solve cold cases. Unfortunately, most of those detectives died in a tragic karaoke outing, leaving behind the only detectives who were invited that night. The Bureau Boys. The Bureau Boys solve crimes suggested by you, based on tips sent in by you. Crimes which the police couldn't, wouldn't, or sometimes shouldn't solve. If you have a clue and don't know what to do, send it to the Bureau Boys at thebureauboys.com. For better or worse, they're on the case.
Detective Riley, I cannot tell you how excited I am that we've got one under our belts.
That was our first case.
That was our first case. A success.
A success. A big success. A big unexpected success. Let's put it that way.
Did you not expect that we were going to solve? I think I'm pretty confident going into every single one of these cases we are going to wrap these old cold cases up.
We're going to wrap them in a warm blanket and shove them into a furnace. That's how hot we make these cases.
Whoa. Is that what you've been doing in the boiler room?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just baking bread. Here, you want a piece?
Thank you.
It's my uncle's recipe. He's from Tuscany.
Tuscany. So you've got some Irish roots and some Italian roots.
That, as far as I know, yeah, those are really the only two relatives that I'm remembering at the moment. So yeah, so far those are my two nationalities.
Interesting. This bread is delicious, by the way.
It's naan.
Naan. I thought you were going to say it was like non-gluten or non-fat, but you just mean it's naan.
Yeah, it's Italian naan. It's not usually. It's not.
I thought that was a Middle Eastern sort of thing, or Indian maybe. No, Mediterranean.
They stole it from the Italians.
Italy is in the Mediterranean.
Technically, yeah.
This isn't a geography lesson, though, Detective Riley.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted to say.
Oh, and I wanted to say, before you say what you wanted to say, that I never questioned our ability to close the case. In fact, I had multiple visions that I never told you about of us solving the case in wildly different ways.
Oh. Do you want to give us a rundown of one of those ways?
One, we both we find the killer and right away.
That would have been the easiest. That would have been by far the easiest way to do it. Instead of all of that, we went to DC, we were in Colorado, we were back and forth, we were in a subterranean cave system of corridors beneath a YMCA. We went, I don't want it. You know that song Everywhere Man, Detective Riley? One of my favorites. And
can you sing it?
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I think it's...
yes. That's from the Man in Black himself.
Yes, I was going to say Johnny Cash.
J Cash.
You don't mean...
Big fan.
A ninja, right? You mean Johnny Cash.
That's still up for debate.
Okay.
But that's neither here nor there. Your point is well made. This case brought us in many different directions, and that was my point. I didn't expect where this case led us.
Oh, I totally agree with you there. And frankly, Detective Riley, I did not expect to become such close friends.
You know, when we first met, I thought, look at this chump. He's got his beakers and test tubes.
Yes.
And Bunsen burners.
Erlenmeyer flasks. Go on. Name more lab equipment.
Look at him go with those
Petri dishes.
Glass slides.
Microscopes.
Microscope. I thought, what a nerd. This guy, he belongs in a FEMA lab, not out here in the field working cases. I thought this guy is completely under-equipped for this job.
And I looked at you and I saw your bare feet and scraggly beard, and you smelled like patchouli, and your hemp shirt, your hemp poncho, and your long hair, your bandana, your, I mean, detective, look at your pants. They're being held up by a rope.
Yeah, a rope that I fashioned from my own
hair. I know, I can see it. It's gross. It's frankly very gross. But I looked at you that first day and I thought, this is a guy who, what could he possibly be detecting? This is a guy who sets off smoke detectors, not a guy who detects crimes.
And didn't I prove you wrong?
I do not still condone your methods because you put all evidence in your mouth for the most part and just taste everything, which I truly thought I was going to throw up when you put those dog toenails into your mouth, Detective Riley. I don't know how I didn't, but I gotta say, we're the yin and the yang. We're the good and the bad. We're the Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, but those guys are more comedic. We're a very serious pair of detectives.
Yeah. I meant when Abbott and Costello played detectives.
Oh,
I think that was wasn't that serious? I think it was supposed to be serious.
I'm not a big fan of vaudeville.
Oh, fair enough. I'm a huge fan of vaudeville.
You know what? Listen, I don't want to get too deep here because I feel like our friendship might start waning the more we discover
the more we learn about each other.
Preferences. Yeah.
You think you're going to like me less the more you know about me. Okay, I'm going to keep you at arm's length then, Detective Riley.
Listen, I know you will because you have erected a wire barrier around yourself to make sure we maintain a proper distance away from each other.
And I dug a moat.
You have dug a moat around your desk.
And I did a real I Love Lucy, and I taped off the room, if you haven't noticed. This is my side. This is where all my equipment is. You can hang your black light posters on your side.
Listen, Bob Marley is never coming down. That man is a saint.
Okay, and I will hang this Johnny Cash poster on my side. And you're not allowed to look at it. No, why are we fighting? Detective Riley, this is a day of celebration.
We became best friends working this case.
I truly want you to speak at my funeral.
Wow.
Because I don't plan on having a wedding, so
I'm glad that you admit you'll die before me. I think that was obvious. I thought that was obvious for myself, but I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Now, can you lower the drawbridge and let me cross over?
You're right. You know what? I'm gonna permanently lower this drawbridge. You can come over to my side. You can look at my poster anytime you want to. But Detective Riley, what I wanted to get back to is we went to many places. We saw many things. We met a giant. We met some munchkins. We found William Bradford II as our culprit. We met a shapeshifter, which I thought was insane.
The dog, Fido Eleanor Pooch III.
Yes.
Turns out, not a dog. A dog, but not
Sometimes.
just a dog.
Yes.
Sometimes a dog.
And we couldn't have gotten to all those places without this informant network. Like, I just keep getting sent these random tweets, these random Facebook posts. I don't know who's operating. There's a Bureau Boys feed out there. Yeah. I don't know who's operating it.
When we joined, we were issued a Bureau Boy specific phone that only had 2 apps on it: Twitter and Facebook.
Yes. It had a browser. It has Chrome.
Oh yeah, it's got Chrome, and it comes with a weather bug. I forgot about that one. And I do sometimes get updates on my Flipboard for just, big news sites that I follow.
Mine also has Uber and Expedia.
Yeah.
That's how we got those good flights to and from. Although we did take a cab in DC. I forgot that I had the Uber app.
And I got one of those QR scanners, so I can keep up with the hot brands and the big deals.
I think this is just a normal phone for the most part. Mine, it does call out. It receives calls. It's just a smartphone. Let's be honest.
Okay, right.
But you were absolutely right, Detective Riley. Prominently on the screen, the only 2 app icons that aren't buried in the menu are Twitter and Facebook and Chrome. And
there's only one account that I can access.
Yes.
And it's for the Bureau Boys, which I guess I don't know who's calling us that, and I'm not a fan of the name.
It's a little condescending, honestly.
Yeah, we're men.
We are men.
Grown testicles. We're not children anymore.
By the way, I'm going to definitely bring up this drawbridge if you do not put your testicles away.
I thought this was the time to bring it out. It just as an example of being as a man example.
Okay, well, I get it. Thank you.
I'll shove them back in.
Careful there.
And but to your point, Detective Potter, our informant network has been invaluable. I think I'd be half a detective without them.
If you were only half a detective, I would be proud to be your other half. But Detective Riley, this informant network needs to keep growing because look at this stack of cases we've got over here. And now is the time, frankly, for us to pick another case.
You're right. I mean, listen, we're the only ones left in the United States, on this continent, really, who can solve the worst cold cases in America. And it's up to us to keep going, and we're not stopping.
If not worst, at least the most abandoned.
These are the least remembered cold cases in America.
Yeah, we're not going to find the Lindbergh baby or anything like that. I just want to be super clear. Well, maybe we will. I didn't think we'd meet a giant.
Hey,
Ted.
No, or a shape-shifting dog, and all the rest for that matter. You're right.
Ted and I exchanged. We follow each other on Instagram now. He's big.
You talking about that dumb giant?
Do not say that guy helped us. That guy helped us track down William Bradford II.
When I first met him, it just, when someone's so much bigger than me, I get a little jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Envious, I think.
Yeah, envious is the right word.
Yes. So a couple of informants have sent us a couple of new cases, Detective Riley. Do you want to peek at what we've got?
I mean, yeah, actually, that's a great idea. Let's thumb through them a little, just let's take a peek, and we'll see what jumps out.
Yeah. Okay. First one. Right. Okay, here's one from Informant Cat. It's called The Case of the Missing Master Muppeteer. That's a tongue twister.
This one's interesting. We talked about vaudeville already, and how little I know about it, and it seems this one brings us right back to that subject matter. So I'm going to lean on you, Detective Potter, to really help me through these details, because it seems this man. It does seem like a man is missing. A man was missing. I'm gonna take a minute here.
Well, I'll take over from here. He's a young man. His name, it's Master Muppeteer. So instead of Mister, he must be an unmarried man. Master Muppeteer, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's
not a married Muppeteer, is what you're saying.
Exactly right. He's a single Muppeteer. And Detective Riley, just so you know, I know it's confusing with vaudeville. You might be thinking of ventriloquists or marionettes. A Muppeteer is a little bit more modern. It's think of Kermit the Frog, think of Miss Piggy, think of Gonzo, think of Animal. These are all Muppets. Scooter, Bunsen, Honeydew. You talking about all those cute little critters at Fraggle Rock? Fraggle Rock. All of those Fraggles are Muppets.
Okay. That's the only form of Muppets I'm familiar with.
Okay. So those are Muppets. Those are Muppets with a hand up the rear end and they make them talk.
The anus. That's the hole where the hand goes?
Did you say anus?
Yes.
Yes. Up there.
You're the scientist.
Up the rear end. Yes. I'm sorry. I should have used.
I call it the poop hole.
Okay.
Poop chute.
Okay, Detective Riley. We get
poop
it.
Slide.
I get it. Okay, so this Muppeteer was working on a film. You know The Dark Crystal? Have you ever heard of The Dark Crystal?
Yeah, with that famous androgynous singer, David Bowie.
Okay, you might be thinking of Labyrinth.
Yeah, okay, fill me in.
Sure. The Dark Crystal, I frankly don't remember a lot of the details of The Dark Crystal. I remember these big Muppets were moving across this land. But it says here that this missing master Muppeteer was working on the Dark Crystal. He was supposed to show up for work. He was creating some extra Muppets for the show, for the movie, and he vanished. He never showed up.
Okay. He was going to be a part of a big movie project. Now he's missing.
He's missing. No one's seen from him since. And the Dark Crystal came out in, I want to say, the 80s at some point. So that's been. Also, I do think it's a little disrespectful that they finished the movie without him with this ongoing thing. However, that's what happened. So I feel like that one would take us probably to Hollywood.
Did they mention his name?
They did, yes. Now get ready for this, because this is going to further confuse things. But his name is Master Marionette. That I could see why you would get confused.
Okay, now we're getting to the vaudevillian aspect of this case.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Yeah, his first name is Timothy. Timothy Marionette.
Right. This
Master
is
Timothy Marionette.
Master Timothy Marionette.
Yes.
Timothy.
He is in the credits of the Dark Crystal. They do say R.I.P. or, which I don't know. We don't know that he's dead. He's missing.
The fact that they said R.I.P. in the movie must clue us in. Someone wants us to think he's just dead.
That's a good point.
But we have here in our case file that he's missing.
Or someone who worked on those credits knows he's dead. I think that is a case, an intriguing case that we could chase down, Detective Riley. And remember how much you wanted to go to California on our last case? And you said,
yes, I do.
And we never got a chance. They shot this in Hollywood.
Yeah. Hollywood.
Yes.
Hollywood. The Holywood that used to be used by witches to cast spells.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Don't believe in witches, but okay.
Okay. Well, that's your loss.
Except my ex-wife. Just kidding. I don't have an ex-wife.
Yeah. You almost got married, Detective Potter, and then she mysteriously died in a fishing boat accident. Is that right?
That was weird. Well, what do you call the accident part of it? Is it the fishing boat or is it the propeller that really was the accidental part? The boat didn't kill her.
I guess you'd have to ask her.
Oh, well.
Which I could if I consult my tea leaves, if you want me to.
No. Please. Let's take a look at another case.
Fair enough. All right. So, okay, let me grab this one here.
Is your throat nice and clear now?
I'm sorry if I spit all over your face.
Could you not clear your throat right into my face?
It's good that you're wearing triple masks.
Yes.
And goggles.
Yes. Oh, yes. No one thinks about it getting in the eyes. But you basically spit right in my eyes.
And my saliva is slightly acidic, so it may penetrate
it really burns.
The barrier.
It's really thick, too. It's weirdly thick.
Yeah, it's all the bread that I had lodged in my throat, just causing a little excess saliva.
That bread is delicious. Do you want to take this one, Detective Riley?
Yes, I am holding it. So this one comes from...
You pulled it right out of my hands, though.
This one comes from informant Brian, and it's the case of the Mondays.
The case of the Mondays.
Yeah, so this one's interesting. Little small town in Iowa.
Okay.
Population 249. Seemed like everybody in the town mysteriously contracted this unknown illness.
Is it COVID-19?
That you would think. Okay, you would think, considering, but no. You'd be wrong if you thought that. So this was tough because no one has yet to nail down exactly what caused this mysterious illness, but it seemed like all 249 villagers, I'd like to call them, came down with it. This is a pretty rural.
You got it. You don't. Yep.
Do you understand how rural it is based on?
I think I do.
Okay.
249 people. That's going to be a tiny little community.
Yes, that's right. And so this illness spread through the town. Okay, you had people let me read a quick list of the symptoms, okay, that were observed at that time.
Okay.
Mopiness, crankiness. Okay, you had neighbor on neighbor getting in each other's faces,
Okay.
saying things like, "Hey, I haven't even had my coffee yet today. Don't tell me to turn the car on before I start driving." People were just out of their minds. Things weren't making sense.
I hate when people try to talk to me before I've had my morning coffee.
Okay, well, hey, okay, now I'm taking a few steps back because I want to make sure you didn't contract whatever this is.
No. I'm here. I'm good. I already had my coffee, frankly, is why you can come at me, but I'm seeing here that there's like work lethargy is a symptom. And you know me, Detective Riley, I would work 24/7, 5 months out of the year if I could.
Listen, you're a workaholic. Also, you have no other friends besides me. What else are you going to do?
That's fair. So yeah.
Now here's what's interesting. There were some consultants that tried to go in. You know, some scientists, I suppose you could call them. You know,
I would call them scientists.
I would call them white lab coat wearing, pocket protecting.
Watch yourself, Detective Riley.
Squeaky.
I am wearing a lab coat. And
shoe wearing.
Okay.
They wore They wore so much stuff. That's what I would call people. They wear too much. That's what I would say about them. But regardless, they try to go in and they try to cheer these people up. They say, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, "Oh, this is a great day." No one was taken. In fact, the townspeople got so mad they ran them out of town. And to this day, no one really knows what happened, what caused this mysterious illness. And now there's a whole list of more of what actually occurred there. I don't want to go through everything, but
so did these people disappear, or are they there still ill?
This is so this case was completely abandoned without any resolution. And as far as we know, that illness has not left. Now, at the moment, all the surrounding cities have erected barriers to block in this small town.
Oh.
So they are in a technical quarantine, and no one has entered or come out since.
Interesting. Okay, so that one would be in Iowa. The case of the Mondays.
That's right. Yeah.
That's an interesting one, Detective Riley. That sounds like something that I could do a lot of science in.
Yeah, it sure does. Which I loathe, but hey, that's your department. Not happy about it, but hey, we got to get it done.
I am glad, by the way, that we did create departments and elected ourselves heads of them.
Yes, I am head of psychic and mental phenomenon.
Yes, that made up title. And I am head of science and actual detective work.
Oh, hold on. We are co-chairs of actual detective work, the Department of Actual Detective Work.
Fair enough. Co-chairs. Okay. All right. Detective Riley, I've got another one sitting here.
Yep.
Do you want to take a listen? This one's sent in by informant Kelsey. This is the case of the missing chandelier. And I don't know if you had a chance to glance at this one, but
it was bright when I flipped the pages open. Whew,
well,
really.
Speaking of bright, this chandelier was luminous. This thing was, you know, those chandeliers that are like multi-tiered, like an upside down wedding cake, and they've got all sorts of crystal, these beautiful, this was an $80,000 light. $80,000. Detective Riley, what's the last thing you spent $80,000 on other than probably marijuana?
First of all, that was a great deal. And okay, you're not going to find better grass this side of the hemisphere.
Well, I can easily find it because you've got it stacked up on your side of the room. It's a lot. It's just a lot to walk into. I feel like I get a contact high every time I walk down here.
Listen, I use that. It enhances my psychic powers. Now, so that is the last thing I spent $80,000 on. Speaking of which, what was the last thing you spent $80,000 on?
I spent $80,000. Remember how you mentioned that I was engaged for a while and she disappeared and she got caught in the propeller? I had to replace that boat, and that ended up costing $80,000. I had to strip it, scrub it down, eliminate all, traces, and then had to.
Now, of course, this is before the authorities were able to start their investigation. Into what happened.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why would I even call authorities at that point?
Exactly. You're the law.
I'm a detective. Yes.
Yeah, indeed.
So this chandelier was stolen from. Have you ever heard of the Tomlinsons, the Boston Tomlinsons?
No, inform me.
Yes. So the Boston Tomlinsons are a very wealthy family. They actually, the chocolate Rolo, the little chocolate candy. Oh, you call them Rollos? Well, they're Rolos, but the chocolate candy Rolos, the chocolate caramel in the middle of it. The Tomlinsons invented the Rolo.
I'm with you so far.
Okay, so if in the Boston mansion of the Tomlinsons, they had this $80,000 chandelier. The Tomlinsons were out for a night at the opera. I don't know if it was with Bruce Wayne's family, but it could have been, I suppose. But their tops and tails, top hat, monocle, all that kind of stuff.
Now, can you explain who Bruce Wayne is?
Oh, I forgot. You don't remember DC. He's Batman, but let's not. It's a fictional thing. It was kind of a little bit of a joke on my part.
That's a guy who's afraid of bats. He's just so afraid of them.
Correct.
And just never wants to be around them.
It's a little questionable. He was definitely afraid of bats when he was a kid, and then I feel like he became a bat to conquer that. I don't know what his feelings are.
Would you say that he grew up in the darkness?
I would say that.
Okay. All right, that's all I need to know.
So anyhow, the Tomlinsons, very wealthy family. They'd gone out for a night at
the opera with or without the Waynes.
This is a very old case, by the way. So think about how much an $80,000 chandelier would cost from 1930s money. It's almost 100 years ago, Detective Riley. Wow. And in today's market, an $80,000 chandelier would probably be $1 billion. I don't know. So they never found it. They never found the chandelier. The Tomlinsons came back. They flipped on the light switch or tried to flip on the light switch. Not a single light came on.
Wow. How disappointing.
They fell down some stairs.
And they're still in a coma to this day.
Yes.
Unwakeable.
Yes. They have a sunken living room. I know that's not necessarily the classiest feature for a mansion, but they had a sunken living room.
Well, to be fair, it was built during the Depression. And
very good point.
The ground was very depressed.
Very, very good point, Detective Riley. I didn't even think about that. So that one, Boston, we could go to Boston and check out the case of the missing chandelier is another option.
Okay, and this is because they're still, they want that chandelier back. They might be vegetables, potatoes, even you could call them.
Yeah, but they've been in a coma for 90 years. I'm surprised they're even still alive, to be perfectly honest with you.
And judging from the pictures, they still have a kind of youthful exuberance despite the wrinkles.
I'm glad someone came back and updated this 1930s case with current pictures of them.
Yeah, we'd have to dig more into kind of what's going on here. Someone's keeping this case alive. So I'm happy to know that, because I'm ready to solve some cases. This sounds real good.
Well, we've got one more option, Detective Riley. I don't know if you want to take a look at it, or you want me to take a look at it.
No. Let's take a look at it together, bud.
Okay. This one's sent in by informant Fred.
Yep, and it reads, "The case of the abandoned silo at Grover's Point."
Grover's Point, Detective Riley, is right down the street.
Yeah, famous fuck spot for the local high schoolers.
Detective Riley, I don't want to, influence us in any way.
Right.
But, Grover is also a Muppet? Isn't that bizarre that we have two cases that at least have some sort of reference to a Muppet? Isn't that weird?
Now, as you would say in science speak, correlation does not equal causation.
That's a very good point. I would never say that, but that is a very good point. So,
but your point is taken.
I'm just throwing out that coincidence.
There's an odd connection there.
Yeah. So, and have you ever driven past that abandoned silo?
Sure. Late at night, Fridays and Saturdays, just to check out, see what's going on.
Are you watching high school kids have sex? because you're
Well,
walking
I'm
a
a-
fine line, Detective Riley.
I am a professional. Okay, I don't deal in that type of filth. I just make sure everyone's practicing safe sex. I hand out
Okay.
condoms.
Oh,
I
boy.
give a few talks.
Give me a little sample of one of those talks.
Oh, sure. Hey, you kids over there, fucking, come on out.
I'll be one of the kids. Hey, what?
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
wait, what's wrong with you, buddy? What's with the long beard?
Hey, come here. Put away that gigantic snake.
What?
And
That's-
you, Missy. What was that? What did you want to say?
We're just having sex, buddy. Leave us alone. It's consensual.
At this point, this is when I take him to the ground. I take him to the ground
Oh,
hard. I throw him
no.
down.
Detective
I put
Riley.
him in cuffs. I throw him up against a tree and I say, listen, you shit.
You cannot arrest kids for having consensual sex when they're of age, Detective Riley. You know what? This coming Friday and Saturday, let's have like a movie marathon or something just to keep you busy.
Okay, but the first film we watch has to be Dr. Zhivago.
Okay, fine. That's your first pick?
Yeah, that's my first pick, and then we'll whatever you choose next.
Okay. Must love dogs. Must love dogs. Okay.
Thank you.
Back to the
I think,
case.
You know what? Wait, thank you for making plans with me. This is kind of a
You're
big
welcome.
moment.
You're welcome. So, Detective Riley, but the theory of this case is that
Yes, the abandoned silo.
Yes, that inside that silo is abandoned in name only. The theory of this case is that there's a cult that meets at this abandoned silo. A quote unquote, you see the air quotes I'm making with my fingers, abandoned silo. So theoretically, you'll love this, Detective Riley, devilry, witchcraft. The dark arts is allegedly happening at the abandoned silo right down the street at Grover's Point. So I don't know if you've seen any of that when you've been watching these kids, or if you're distracted by the kids, or...
No, I've actually just been appreciative of the firelight and the torches, because that really helps me spot the little humping rabbits in those bushes.
Detective Riley, are you saying there's firelights and torches, and are there people in cloaks?
Listen, yeah, I've seen a few cloaks. I figure, hey, I'll let them go about their business. At least they're not ruining their lives while still in K through 12 education.
Detective Riley, I really wish you would have asked some questions of the people in cloaks instead of these poor kids that are just trying to get it on, I guess.
Listen, you know what? Forgive me that you.
I'm not a prude, Detective Riley. I've been around the block.
I might be a very heavy drug user, but I practice safe sex.
So do I, Detective Riley. That's the only way to go.
All right, let's see it.
You want to see me having safe sex? Or you want to see if I do have here, look, I'm
Do you have
carrying
a
around a condom. Yes, I'm carrying around a condom.
And you have an extra
Forgive me.
on the shaft as we speak.
Detective Riley,
You got to be locked and loaded.
I know you're very comfortable with your body. I am not as comfortable as you are with this, especially at this point in our relationship. So I can assure you I practice safe sex. Okay?
All right. Thank you for reassuring me.
Okay.
Now, so I have witnessed some happenings. You're
Okay.
right. And I feel horrible that I didn't go to investigate. I was distracted, but here we are.
So it says here that there's been wildlife missing and found there, that there's been almost like pagan rituals. There's been chanting. There's been, like you said, late night fires, torches, and things like that happening at this quote unquote.
I've heard a few blood curdling screams, some cries for help. I've probably seen one or two individuals fleeing the site and being chased and then dragged back in. But I figure, hey, they're probably playing some intense game of tag.
Detective Riley, this is terrible detective work. You're missing the forest through the trees. You're so busy watching these young kids. Do you remember how uncomfortable, by the way, Detective Riley, you and I felt at the YMCA when those old men were leering at us? You're now the old man leering at these poor high school kids.
Well, I don't leer for too long. I just leer long enough to know what's going on, and then I drag them out and well, you know.
So you're saying that is leering, though? Gross.
Okay,
Detective
all
Riley.
right, all right. I'll give you that. Okay, all right.
All right. This is neither here nor
Listen,
there.
this
though,
was
but Detective
before
Riley.
you and I got. This is before you and I became a team.
Yep,
so
that doesn't matter. A crime is a crime, Detective Riley. Okay, but
So, are you accusing me of crime?
I kind of, yeah, a little bit. But you know what? Who I'm definitely accusing of crimes. Whoever is holding these rituals, doing these things at this abandoned silo at Grover's Point.
Well, I am too at this point. God, this seems a little bit more serious.
Yes.
Only by a margin, but enough that I will give up my hunt for underage sexual deviance and pursue this case with you. If we, once we get onto the case.
Okay. We're going to have to pick one of these cases. We've got the case of the missing master Muppeteer. That one seems like would probably take us to California, the Hollywood area. We've got the case of the Mondays. That was Iowa, that missing town, that walled off town in Iowa where everyone mysteriously got sick. The case of the missing chandelier is in Boston, that we would go and maybe check out over there. Or the case of the abandoned silo at Grover's Point is right down the block.
Wow.
I don't know what I want. I want to get to all these cases in theory at some point, but
I'm being pulled in so many different directions here.
I don't really know which one we should pick. Do you?
So the informants brought us these cases, and honestly, I think the informants should tell us which one to pursue. They've been right.
Okay.
They've been giving us the correct guidance all the way through. I think
agree.
we lean on them in this situation.
Okay, you think we should put it to the informants to pick which case we pick?
Let's put it to the informants.
The Bureau Boys need your help to pick their next case. You can go to thebureauboys.com to vote on which case they should pursue. You can also find links to their social media at thebureauboys.com.
Tune in next time to find out which case they pursue.